Have our about two medium onions. We've got about 4 medium-sized carrots and about maybe 3 stalks of celery, all just kind of diced. About I don't know, a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Keep it nice and moist, and we will go ahead and soften this over medium and then sort of medium to low heat. Oops, almost forgot to add our friend the pancetta here. That will add a little more fat to this whole mixture. And then we'll sort of cook it until it's softened, but not really quite browned at all. And then we'll add the garlic. We don't want to add the garlic now. We want to make sure the garlic doesn't burn on us. So here we have our beans that have been speed soaking in some boiling water for a little over an hour. And you can see how the water is turned all sort of murky. I believe what's happening here is that the starches, these indigestible starches from the beans, have come out, and we're going to go ahead and rinse these beans really well. We're going to just take our beans in water and we're going to drain them all, okay, and get all that starchy water out. And then we're going to fill up the container of fill this bowl back up with some cold water to really drain these beans well. Drain them a little bit like this. And you pour them back in the bowl so we can wash them really well. So you can see this water is looking pretty clear. We'll get rid of some of these skins here. Okay. Just really want to get all that starchiness out of the water. And we'll go ahead and drain them again. There we go. Maybe we'll do this one more time. This is our, I guess, our second rinse. You can see how clear the water is now, so pretty confident these beans are going to be good. So go ahead and drain them again. Okay. Meanwhile, our vegetables and pancetta have been softening, and so we're going to add our garlic now. And that was about, I don't know, 6 to 8 cloves of garlic, kind of minced. And we'll go ahead and stir that in. And now our garlic has softened a bit, it's cooked a bit. We'll go ahead and add our beans to this mixture. I added 3 quarts of water to this. I actually had to change pots because I ran out of room in the smaller pot. This is our gigantic Le Creuset. And I'm going to add our, it's called an herb bundle. You're supposed to have some celery leaves, but I didn't have any. This is Italian parsley that I've wrapped with some butcher's twine to kind of keep it all together. And then we also have a number of fresh bay leaves. Dried are okay too, but fresh are always so nice if you can find them. We're going to go ahead and then simmer this, bring this to a simmer, and then cover it and cook it for about 30 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and add some stock to this to give it a little bit more flavor. We've been simmering for about 45 minutes now, and we will go ahead and add a bit of salt. And I was just reading that you're not supposed to add the salt too early because that will toughen up the beans and toughen up the skins and not allow the beans to soften. You don't want to add too late because that will apparently then the beans will not absorb the salt. I guess that's bad. So I'm going to add a little bit of chicken stock we had lying around, and a little bit of vegetable stock, about half a quart of chicken stock and a quart of vegetable stock. And so that will make it a total of about 6 quarts of liquid in all. Here we go. And then we're going to let that simmer for about 45 minutes, or until the beans are well softened. Alright, our beans have gotten nice and tender after about 45 minutes more of simmering. You can see how they're sort of broken up, and if you taste them, they're nice and tender. So what we want to do now is pull out our herb bundle, our parsley and our bay leaf, because unfortunately I didn't tie up the bay leaf. Because once we start to put that through the blender, that won't taste so good. So we're going to try to find all the bay leaf that we can. What we're going to do is we're going to ladle off a couple. These are like 8-ounce ladlefuls of the soup and the beans, so that we'll have a little bit of texture once we after we blend the soup. So we'll take out about 4 ladles full, and we could always add them back in later, but that seems about right. Okay, there we go. And then now comes the fun part, where we take our immersion blender and we'll start it on low and make some soup. So here we are in liquefy mode. It's going to take a little while to run this, but it's blending pretty nicely. So you can see how the soup is thickening up quite nicely. Here I've just got the blender right in the middle of the pot, and it's able to churn up this whole pot of soup all by itself. And as the sort of little chunks get blended up, it thickens up the soup. So we want it still a little bit chunky, but it should be fairly smooth in consistency. Brought the soup back to a simmer now, and you can really see how it's thickened up quite a lot, even after, even more so than just after we mixed it. So now that it's back up to a simmer, we're going to add a couple handfuls of some pasta. You can add, I think, any sort of small pasta you like. I happen to have these sort of interesting looking, pumpkin looking pastas lying around, so we're going to go big on the pasta this time and just add these big chunks. They'll break up a little bit as they cook, but I think we'll add 3 handfuls of this. Alright, give that a stir, and then we'll simmer it for about 10 minutes more until the pasta is cooked, and then we'll go ahead and add our reserved beans and other solids back in.